Hi everyone, my name is Jennifer Perez and this is my first semester in the MALT program. I began my teaching journey in 2002 as a teacher's assistant in a preschool program. In May of 2010, I graduated from the College of Staten Island. I ultimately received my teaching certification in New York State for elementary education, grades 1 through 6. I became a mom on August 30th, 2011 to a beautiful daughter. And then again on May 8th, 2014, I had another daughter. It took some patience and persistence after I graduated college in 2010, but I ultimately became a classroom teacher in the New York City Department of Education in September of 2015. I began teaching fourth grade students at that time, and I've been in that position ever since. And a little time hop to March of 2020 when COVID hit and life as we knew it really changed, and it affected me personally and certainly professionally. Teachers, students, and families were faced with a really difficult situation. And for me, it was important that I figured out ways to keep my students engaged. One way I was able to excite students when working remotely was with an interactive library. In this interactive library, my students can access books on their reading level. And when they click the link on our library, which is exactly the library that we have in our classroom, they are able to access digital books on their reading level in many different genres, and it really creates an environment where they feel like they have the choice to search for books the way they used to when we were in-person learning. Another example is my interactive math classroom. In this virtual classroom, my students can click on the hyperlinks to access virtual manipulatives, where they can use these tools to problem solve. Another effective tool that really excites my students is my interactive common classroom. In this virtual classroom, students can interact with objects around the room to participate in self-directed activities that encourage a sense of calm. For example, my students can click this fish tank and it will take them to a stunning aquarium where they're able to just relax and watch the fish for a little bit until they feel a sense of calm, and they can come back and rejoin the class or work on whatever it is they were working on. In this space, my students can also practice some yoga, which can be very calming. They can use this color by number website, and they could choose an image to spend some time coloring and just kind of escaping a little bit when they're feeling a little stressed out. And I find that that's something that has been affecting a lot of my students lately. Another resource I use is Google Classroom. And in Google Classroom, my students have access to all of the necessary materials they need for each lesson. My students can click links to interactive materials such as a Google Jamboard where we answered the essential question collaboratively, and we added on to it as the unit went on and really made adjustments when we needed to. Not only did COVID affect me professionally, but I was also affected personally. I lost my father-in-law in the height of the pandemic, and it was certainly a difficult loss and something we still struggle with today. My goal is to use my experience in the MALT program to really support my students and their families who lack access to technology or basic computer skills. One of the most important lessons I've learned is to really appreciate your family and enjoy the small moments. This is a picture of my daughters, my husband, and I at the beach during a pretty difficult time for us, but we've been trying to make it through and bounce back. I'm really excited for what this experience has to offer and how I can incorporate what I'm learning in the MALT program into my teaching practices on a daily basis. It was nice sharing my life with you guys, and I hope that I get to learn a little bit more about you in your video.